Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. And can I say how good it feels to return to the fifth dimension? Oh man, I've been away for so long when it comes to this realm of hype and possibilities. And when it comes to hype and possibilities, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to predicting and speculating all of the good stuff that's going to be going down with Nintendo and beyond when it comes to E3 2021. And to kick off the immense hype, prediction, and speculation with week one of a series of the fifth dimension that is dedicated specifically towards this notion. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome my dude, my friend, Mr. Ndukauba. How you doing today, good sir?
What is popping, people? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? It is I am back. This is the third time I've been on the fifth dimension. Hello, everyone. Hello.
We gotta make it for five, man. We gotta make it for five. One for each dimension.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Bro, I am excited. As you just said, yo, big things popping, little things stopping, man. It's just like, I'm excited. E3 is looking pretty hyped this year, especially what went down with E3 not too long ago and last year and stuff. I'm ready to roll. So how about just dive right in? Let's talk about you for a little bit. How about What's got you excited for E3 this year?
All right, so here's where I stand, right? This year, right, especially because we didn't have E3 last year, bro, this one has to hit hard, right? Because it's pretty bad that, we didn't have E3 last year, and then the year before that, all that crap happened, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if they don't hit hard this year, it's going to be crazy. But personally speaking, and let's just get this out the way, right?
Let's do it.
I need to know who the next character for Smash is.
Brother. All right, we're doing, I'm like, right before I was setting the stream, I'm like, are we going to talk about the Smash character reveal at the beginning of the end of the stream? And like, all right, looks like we're doing the beginning. All right, guys, it's Smash Bros time. Oh, yeah. All right. So, as we all know, we have Fires Pass 2 going around. It started out with Min Min. It went on to Steve, which I felt was gigantic. A lot of people can sandbag. A lot of people can sandbag Minecraft all they want, but Steve was a gigantic addition, and that was character number 2 in Fires Pass 2. And then we get motherfucking Sephiroth right afterwards. Like, bro, they were just like, they were bobbing and weaving. They were just like slam, slam. And then, people like to take things away from our girls and stuff, Pyra, Mythra, but I was hell hype. I love Xenoblade. I love Pyra, Mythra. I picked her up and I have not put her down. Like Pyra supremacy. I know we got some Games Cage fans lurking up in this bitch, and I'm like, you can tell that straight to your boss. That Pyra's better. Pyra's better. So with that being said, we got some huge, we got some 4 huge characters so far. So who can be characters number 5 and 6? And here's the first question I want to ask you, because a lot of people, leakers and insiders, have been saying that this E3 is looking to be the sequel to Nintendo's 2019 E3. And as we all know, we got not 1, but 2 character reveals. Do you think we're going to get 2 character reveals for Smash this year at E3?
Okay, so I'm torn on this, right? Look, we all know, with, the current world events and whatnot, I would understand if it's just 1, but this is E3, right? Y'all got to come out swinging. And if we only get 1 for Smash, then I'm expecting, bigger things be announced during the event, right? Maybe we'll finally get something on Metroid Prime 4. Maybe we'll get some info on Bayo 3, stuff like that. But if we do get 2 characters announced, and one of them just so happens to be a certain spiky-haired protagonist that uses a key for a weapon, I'll put it like this. When Cloud got added into Smash, I lost my mind. When Sephiroth got announced for Smash, I lost my voice. If Sora gets announced for Smash, I'm deceased. That's it. How much more hype can you be? After losing your voice, I'm dead. At that point, it's over. I think if you guys already know Sora for Smash, and if my boy Sora gets revealed at E3 this year, I think they'll call cops on me to make sure that I'm physically and mentally okay. Yes, you guys don't understand. There are things that are going to be breaking in my room.
Like it's truly over. Once Sora makes it into Smash, I need nothing else. You know, and we were like, what about Dante? I'm like, what about Dante? What about Master Chief? What about Master Chief?
What about Master Chief?
Like, you know, what about those characters? Look, but here's the thing that I'm always holding out for the hype until the end when it comes to the possibility of Sora in Smash, because that's how big of a character I believe Sora to be if he ever were to make it into Super Smash Bros. So that's why I'm leaning, like, trust me guys, trust me, I am the dude that's like Sora for Smash to the earth and back, past the ether, past the stratosphere, past the sun, past all that shit. But I feel that Sora's inclusion in Smash is such a heralding event. Like, that's like the sounding of the 7th fucking trumpet, that I feel that he would be the last character for this pass. So that's why I'm like, we got 2 more left though. So that's why I'm like, Sora.
That's why I'm 2-2.
Like, Sora 8-3, I don't know, maybe someone before Sora, but I feel like Sora would be last. That's what I think.
I agree. It's like okay, like, don't get me wrong though, if they announce him as, like, you know, the next character, I'm all for it, right?
Right.
But it would hit so hard if he was last, right? Because if you make him second to last, it's like, holy crap, we got Sora second to last. Somebody has to top that for the final one. And at that point, I'm not too sure. Because, like, again, personally speaking, if it's not Dante or Crash, I'm not interested. I'm really not, right? So,
but Master Chief.
Bro, look, even though I respect Master Chief, I know what he's done for the gaming industry, but no, I needed to be Crash, Dante, or Sora. Those are the only 3 characters I care about. And you know what's crazy? They're probably gonna throw in a character that I just never even considered, and I'm gonna lose my mind. Like, even before we get freaking the protagonist for Final Fantasy 16 in the game as a, like, promo
that'd
character.
Be crazy, like getting Cliff Rosefield in this. And it's funny how you brought up Final Fantasy. That's going to be the next thing to talk about. So, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, who's going to be this? Who's going to be that? I already see people in the chat talk about certain characters. But the thing is, you know, I felt certain characters get a one-way ticket to the Smash graveyard when their company, when their parent company says, oh, we would love to get an invitation for this character. I'm like, when people say that, I'm like, you know, that's not that, like, you don't get, what do you call it? That's not a statement to be covered up by NDA. That's a statement you make where, like, oh, there has been no approach, right? So when people are saying Ryu Hayabusa, Kawhi Tepma's already said that, like we would love for Ryu to get in, and I'm like, damn, that means he's not getting in. You know, I feel the people that are still safe are Sora, Crash, Master Chief, because Master Chief only got applied for that for Fire's Pass 1, so he could have made it into Fire's Pass 2, and Dante. You know, there has been, like, you know, Capcom was never pressured into, like, hey, so what about Dante? Then they're like, oh, we would love to make it into Dante. That's never happened. That's never happened with Sora. That's never happened with Crash. And that's never happened with Master Chief for Fire's Pass 2. So I feel those 4, and I feel those are the big 4 that we need to look at for the last 2. You know, definitely. But what was I going to say? Oh, Final Fantasy, right? So the news broke out today. The rumor, the leak broke out today about not 1, not 2, but a 3rd mystery, huge, major Final Fantasy game that's slated to be exclusive to the PS5. Apparently got leaked for, like, you know, we don't know what it is, but apparently the notion of its reveal got leaked ahead of time, and that we're going to expect a big, major Final Fantasy title being revealed at E3 that is aside from 16 and aside from 7 remake and aside from 14 Endwalkers, all that stuff. You know, this is new. This is something we haven't seen before. So let's talk about that, Ndukauba. Like, you know me. I'm Kingdom Hearts trash. So I'm going to be like, listen, if we talk about Final Fantasy, if we're talking about like resurgence of Final Fantasy, brought new life, all that good jazz, you know, Van Rex is kind of Final Fantasy, and I'm ready to put on my fucking I'm ready to put on my fucking clown makeup and shoes, so when Van Rex doesn't show up at E3, I'll be ready to play the part. But what if though?
Hey, look, all right. So what's crazy is, like, because I kid you not, I'm literally on the freaking Twitter page right now, like, even before you know, the stream started. But what a lot of people seem to forget is that we actually have this information a month ago.
Really?
We had this information a month ago. I forgot what her name is. I know she goes by Audrey on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to go. Yeah, so she practically tweeted about this literally a month and 1 day ago.
Okay.
So, like, the real question is, what could it be? Because in my mind, right, like, look, you know, we already know we're getting Endwalker for Final Fantasy 14. We know we're getting Integrated for Final Fantasy 7 Remake. We know 16's in development. Unless, like, they kind of split the team for Final Fantasy 7 Remake, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe we can get info on Remake Part 2. I mean, we did have a lot of news saying that, hey, Remake Part 2 is going smoothly. Like, you know, things seem to be going good. So if we get even just like a tiny glimpse of like just Cloud and the gang in the open world, which I promise you, look, if I was deceased by Sorbing and Smash, at that point, like my essence just gets Huck-eyed, bro. Like it's game over.
Can I tell you, there was actually a recent event in which Nomura apparently had footage and he was going to show it to us. But at last minute he didn't because like Square doesn't want me to show it yet. But he was describing it and people were like, you didn't. So like there's footage ready apparently. So
and before it's that, like that would be dope. Like I would love to see like what they do, and especially because you know like speculating off of Final Fantasy 7 Remake Integrate, right?
Right.
We obviously know that there's things concerning Dirge of Cerberus in there. You know we got Nero, we got Vice, but we also got Yuffie in there finally. Yeah. So I would love to see like what happens next. You know, we already know like Yuffie has to join the group.
Right.
How she's gonna join, I don't know. We got to see what happens with Vincent. We got to see just literally anything. But apart from that, though, if they actually decided to make like Verum Rex its own thing, right? Like it's Kingdom Hearts, but not Kingdom Hearts. You know, like it's thing. It just ties with the story. Your boy's gonna be kind of happy.
I feel like a title like that would be named like, you know how sometimes series have those weird spin-offs where they put the name of the series that they came from at the end, like you know Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. I feel like if Verum Rex actually becomes a title, it'll be Verum Rex Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like, listen, I'm just gonna ascend, you know. I think, you know, a lot of people were like saying that Tetsuya Nomura said that there's no major Kingdom Hearts news that's slated for this year. We have to wait for next year. Two things to that point. One, plans can change because Matsuda, like, it looks like Matsuda, the president of Square Enix, he is in full throttle mode. So he's all like, listen, you got something to show off. E3 is time. You know, and he said that like, oh, so there's gonna be big announcements, and looks like we're, you know, from Audrey and this leak that we might be getting something huge. And then two, Verum Rex, if it gets revealed as Verum Rex Kingdom Hearts or Verum Rex Ultimate Return or whatever the fuck, that would technically be something Verum Rex, not Kingdom Hearts. Right. So I mean, technically, Nomura just danced around his whole, you know, ideas like, oh, don't expect Kingdom Hearts. Oh, but what Verum Rex? That's not Kingdom Hearts though.
Which I would be fine with. Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's been leaks and rumors like for like a couple of years now, dating back from 2018, about the idea of Final Fantasy versus 15, which a lot of people, you know, like to put together and put like, you know, ever since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, a lot of people are like, oh, is this supposed to be versus 15? It's Verum Rex, you know? Yeah. Which makes a lot of sense considering that, you know, Nomura's all like, oh yeah, Verum Rex has nothing to do with Final Fantasy versus 13, and then, you know, Remind came out, like, okay, yeah, sure, got it, dope. Right. Gotcha. Nothing to do, am I right? Man, fucking 1-for-1 recreation of the 2011 trailer. You gotta be kidding me.
Look, I flipped. Look, I lost my mind when because I beat Remind like the day it came out. Right. But I saw those scenes and I'm like, no more. Come on, bro. We all know what you're trying to do now.
Right. Like, it doesn't get more blatant than that. That was so funny. You know, I was like, yo, you Nomura's out of his mind, and I'm here for it. So that's one of the big things going on with Square Enix. But as we're moving on to all things, you know, E3 and stuff, of course, you know.
I was going to say one last thing. Yeah. This doesn't really pertain to E3, but ladies and gentlemen, Shinji Hashimoto. He is no longer the executive director at Square Enix. He's stepping down to be the corporate advisor to train people. I mean, just remember, he's the GOAT. So I pay my respects to everything he has done as the executive director. Right. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, nah, big Sam, yo. Thank you to the man himself. Thank you, Hashimoto, for all your hard work. Literally, I made this tweet. A lot of my most fondest memories, inside and outside of this job and inside and outside of video games, would not be done without Hashimoto. You guys need to understand, a lot of people get twisted that people believe that Nomura created Kingdom Hearts. That's not true. Nomura shaped Kingdom Hearts into what it is because he's the writer, director, and stuff like that, but he did not create Kingdom Hearts. You know who did? Shinji Hashimoto. He created Kingdom Hearts. No Hashimoto, no Kingdom Hearts. It would not be here. He's the one who went to that elevator and is like, hey, listen, I got an idea. That was Hashimoto. So put respect on that man's name. The elevator man himself. Oh, man. But going off to the next piece of information, of course, you know, me and Ndukauba were big Nintendo boys and whatnot. And the big tunnel vision that I have for a lot of things when it comes to E3 2021 is Nintendo stuff. And of course, I want to save one of the biggest things, hint, for a little thing later off in the stream. But besides that, when it comes to Zelda 35th anniversary and whatnot, I like how you brought up Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4. Now let's talk about that for a little bit. Metroid Prime 4 and Bayonetta 3 were both revealed 4 years ago.
Yep, it's been forever. At E3 too, right? If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Metroid Prime was at E3, Bayonetta was at the Game Awards.
Okay.
Yeah. So, what percentage chance do you believe that we're going to get some Metroid Prime 4 related at this year's E3?
Man, look. It's been 4 years. 4 very long years, right? Again, we all know that they restarted development on Metroid Prime 4 because they weren't, satisfied with how it was at first. And I get it, but it's been 4 years though. Like, there has to be something. Like, literally, we don't even know how Samus looks like in the game at all. Come on, bro. Like, we need something. Even if you just show us her helmet, I'll be good, right? And they'll be like, the game is like 30% done, but we want to at least show you like how Samus looks like in the game or some crap. Like, I need something, man. Because even at that, the Switch is isn't the Switch in it? It's either at or past halfway through its lifespan already, and we still don't have the game. So
I would say
it makes no sense.
Half. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping they're at least like 30% done, so they can show us something.
Like the video game development is so weird, and I feel that. Like, I want to believe, but we have nothing going off of it, right? We all see that people are getting constantly hired for Metroid Prime 4, for Retro Studios and stuff like that, and I really don't think they're developing or assisting anything else right now, unlike Monolith Soft. Monolith Soft is like the go-to assistant developer right now of Nintendo, or whatever. So it's not like they're, splicing their time, splicing their research, or splicing their focus. So, I mean, I want to be hopeful and think that we're going to get more than just a, logo like we did 4 years ago, because, I mean, the people want Metroid Prime 4. But then at the same time, another thing, title that people want, and I feel that this could, prime up Metroid Prime 4, is Metroid Prime Trilogy for the Switch.
Right.
And I think that'd be really, really cool, considering that, any type of idea that you guys had about certain Wii games now working on the Switch, with enough elbow grease, we've seen that's not the case. Skyward Sword HD is coming out in July, and then we also had No More Heroes 1 and 2 worked flawlessly on the Switch. Metroid Prime 3, which was the main point of contention since it was so, motion control based, I feel it wouldn't be a problem running on the Switch if they decide to develop it long enough. It could be a challenge, but it's not impossible. Right. I think Metroid Prime Trilogy, I like, considering that this is the 35th anniversary of Metroid alongside of Zelda, I feel that Metroid Prime has a really big chance, just not Metroid Prime, but Metroid in general, has a really big chance of, really going in with not just a trilogy, but with Prime 4. It's like, they show off, first they show off Trilogy, and they have a teaser for Prime 4, and yada yada, and then there's this rumor that apparently we're getting a remake of Super Metroid by the same people who did the remake of Metroid 2, which I felt was one of the best remakes I've ever played in my life. Coming to the Switch, and I would love a a Metroid remake, but at the same time, I'm like, you can only, pile us on with so many remakes before we want the next big thing. Yeah. Sure, it flies with other series like Mario and even Zelda, because remember, we had to go through Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD before we got Breath of the Wild. And now we're going through Link's Awakening and Skyward Sword HD before we're getting Breath of the Wild 2. Sure, that can fly a little bit better with Mario and Zelda. Metroid, I am not entirely sure, but what do you think about that?
Honestly speaking, I think it. Okay, Now, what I'm gonna say may not hold weight because, like, in truth, like, they are different development studios. But in a general retrospect, though, like, Nintendo has like so many games in the back end that that either they've announced or that we know that they're working on, but just are not giving us any updates. Like, obviously, like, we really don't know like the nitty gritty of how the development cycle is gone. Like, again, if we don't get any info on Metroid Prime 4, I would like to, have a trilogy on the Switch, so something to tide us over until then. And I mean, even at that, something like some sort of Zelda collection, so like we can have some sort of sanity until we get Breath of the Wild 2. But I don't know. Like, I feel as if like they have a lot on their plate, and they kind of showed us everything too early. And especially for Metroid, that's definitely an understatement. Like, I feel as if like the way how they approached it now is much like how Square Enix used to approach their games back in the day, like what they did with Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3, like where they showed us just too early and we had to wait forever to be able to get those games. And since everybody waited so long, the expectations skyrocketed, and then some people are satisfied with the game, or some people aren't. But I don't want that to be the case with any of this. So I don't know, bro. Like, I just want Metroid Prime 4. Look, Nintendo, I need y'all to listen to me real quick. Release the game, okay? Okay, no, actually no.
Right,
I was gonna say release the game and put updates, but no.
No, it's like you releasing a buggy mess and it bricks your Switch.
Oh god, like I literally thought of that and I was like, okay, please don't be like Cyberpunk, please.
Oh, that would not fly, not at all.
Yeah.
Now, here's a little tangent that I want to go off of a little bit, because Appeal's been seeing it on my stream every now and again. And, of course, this is an E3 prediction stream, but technically this is what we call E3 time. Because now Jeff Keighley is coming out here with another big competitive show that has a lot, and I mean a lot of people that aren't at E3 in Summer's Game Fest. And the most notable right there is PlayStation. I'm like, damn, Jeff, you really just got the bag and just threw that PlayStation. Because PlayStation hasn't been at E3 for a couple of years now. And now Summer Game Fest happened, and PlayStation's going to be there. But before we talk about PlayStation a little bit, another person that's going to be there, Ndukauba, tell me, do you play Genshin Impact?
I do not. Not because I don't like the game, but because it's a gacha game and I already played Legends. I can't play another one and end up spending money.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'll help you.
Oh, hey, all right then. Hey, look.
So then we're gonna keep this topic short because one big announcement for guests when it comes to Summer's Game Fest is MiHoYo. And MiHoYo
they're going to be there, okay.
Yeah, they're going to be at the Summer's Game Fest. And MiHoYo is the developer of Genshin Impact, Honkai Impact the Third. Now, here's the big question that I know a lot of people are going to be asking and wondering, and a lot of people are waiting. People have been waiting for this. So when Genshin Impact was announced, and before it came out, it was announced for Nintendo Switch. We still don't have that version yet, right? So it's like a lot of people are wondering if we're finally going to get a Nintendo Switch announcement of Genshin Impact either at Summer Games Fest through MiHoYo themselves or through Nintendo over at E3, because it's very weird that MiHoYo is going to be there, but they're really only developing 2 games that are like, over time gacha games. So like, to have your presence there, what truly are you going to show off and, talk about? A lot of people are saying things like, oh, Inazuma, which is a region that's coming out or whatnot. But this conversation is going to be splitting over a little bit into the whole idea of the Switch Pro. Because
I was about to say that too.
Exactly, because I play Genshin Impact off PS4 Pro. And I can tell right now that experience is rough. I'm here trying to get a PS5, my dude. That game runs it's not optimized at all on PS4 Pro. And that's PS4 Pro. Can you imagine how Genshin Impact might try to run on Switch? Nah, that shit, there'll be smoke coming out of your console. So that goes to the idea that in tandem with a possible Genshin Impact reveal during E3 time is that they're going to wait for Nintendo to reveal the Nintendo Switch Pro at Nintendo show at E3 so they can announce the Switch exclusive port of Genshin Impact at Summer Games Fest. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I'm 50-50 on this too, right? Now, for starters, if they announce the Switch Pro, I'm I'm pre-ordering that immediately. I need
Frame
that
one.
in my life.
Frame one.
But the reason why I'm torn is it's so likely that we're gonna get that announcement this year. I mean, we've already there's been like patents and like all that stuff that's already surfaced online about the Switch Pro. We already know it exists. It's just when they decide to announce it. The problem is, I feel like there is a probability that they may not announce it because literally today, right? They just released the blue Switch Lite, right? And obviously the Switch Lite is able to do everything the Switch can apart from play on a TV screen. And I don't think that they're going to try to undermine those sales by literally saying, oh yeah, by the way, the new Switch is getting announced. Like you can get it like, you know, we'll say like holiday 2021. Because at that point, it's like, why did I just spend my money on the Switch Lite? I could have held my money and waited until the holiday or like pre-order, you know, whenever they go live and then wait till the holiday to get it. So again, it's still plausible. Like I don't doubt that they wouldn't do it because I mean, let's be honest, like everybody's going to buy the Switch Pro. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to make so much money, but well, then again, it's Nintendo. And they pull out some wild crap, bruh. Like, I don't even know anymore.
Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath of the Wild 2. Man, yo, please. But, you know, honestly, with how they were handling, you know, the whole notion of, like, you know, the Switch Pro and, like, the Switch family of systems and whatnot, I just feel like I feel Nintendo will only need the reasoning to themselves to say that, oh, it's different markets and just do it, you know?
They could, but, I mean, ultimately, though, like, especially when it comes to, MPD sales, like, I mean, they literally just combine them all, which, by the way, quick side note, Switch is selling like crazy.
Yeah, it sells
Jesus
stupid well.
Christ.
So the little system that could. Remember how everyone was like, "Oh, I promise you, the Switch is not gonna run, not gonna sell well," and then here we are.
No, let me talk to y'all real quick. People downplayed the Switch so much. Oh, it's gonna be for kids. Oh, it can't do this. Oh, it can't do that. It is one of the best-selling consoles of all time now. It is that good, bruh. Third-party companies are literally like lining up to put their games on the Switch. In my realm, in my neck of the woods, right? Dragon Ball, right? Mm-hmm. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 has been out since 2016. The Switch version didn't come out until 2018, and that is the best-selling version of the game. Come on, y'all. Like, the Switch is doing numbers. Don't sleep on the Switch. Please don't.
Bro, I like how you said that people are clawing and trying to get their game on the console because the game, the system has such an insane install base. And, like, everyone has a Switch. Everyone's talking about the Switch. You can play the Switch anywhere on the go and whatnot. Bro, this is, it literally prints money. It's like the second coming of the Wii, you know? The Wii was, like, all over the place. And now look at the Switch. You'll love to see it. So, of course, Nintendo's going to want to have to, you know, maximize the full potential of sales when it comes to what else they can do with this console, which is already 4 years old. You know, that's insane. You know, most consoles, like this is around the period of time where the Wii U died, and we're still going strong with the Switch. Like, bro,
Switch got a really good lifetime, bro. Like, it's gonna go strong. Like, even if we get the Switch Pro and like it lasts like many more years, like the real question is what comes next, bro? Because if I'm not mistaken, they're already working on their next gen console anyway, and it's like, what comes next? Like that's the good thing about Nintendo. Like, first we had, you know, the Wii. Holy crap, motion controls, you know, like these guys are crazy. What are they gonna do next? And then we got the Wii U, but we did also get the 3DS, and the 3DS was like, all right, bet, like 3D without like needing 3D goggles. What can they do next? Now we got the Switch, which is something PlayStation originally tried to do with the Vita and failed, and ultimately got sued for it. But what comes next? This is, look, Nintendo, bro, just make Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us like 150 characters. And yes.
Now, you know, I don't know about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 2. I'm more inclined for something like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Complete or something like that.
Like a definitive edition.
Yeah, definitive edition and stuff. But you know, I hate when games are called definitive editions. I hate that shit. I don't like that. I don't like that term.
Xenoblade Chronicles definitive edition.
I love the game.
It has a good ring to it.
I have the game. I love the game. I just hate when games just put definitive edition. Like Hyrule Warriors definitive edition, Devil May Cry definitive edition. You know, Xenoblade Chronicles definitive edition. Man, I hate that word. But whatever. I mean, I'd rather have it like special edition or complete edition or final mix, like shit like that. The fuck, man. So I think it's finally high time to talk about the big ass elephant in the room, because everyone's here like oh, what are you gonna talk about, Rip? What are you gonna talk about? So I'm gonna need Breath of the Wild 2 in my life. All right.
Absolutely.
And I'm letting you know right now, you already know me. I've already gone through the Zelda Wii U desert. I've been through that, So right now it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I've been through the desert and back for the original Breath of the Wild, and that was a lot of fun. Cultivating the channel, cultivating the community, being exchanging theories, news, leaks, all that good jazz with the fans and whatnot. But I'm gonna tell you this right now. Breath of the Wild 2 did not sting as much because Breath of the Wild 2 has, and that's the thing that a lot of people are like, oh, why do you keep making videos on Breath of the Wild 2 when we only have one trailer? And here's the question, guys. Here's the question. I'm about to open up your third eye. All right, I'm about to send your ass to the fifth dimension. You know why? Because that game has an identity. All right? Back when we got the first trailer for Zelda Wii U, that was the identity. Zelda Wii U. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. We didn't know how the world was going to be perceived. We didn't know what the story was. We didn't know what the timeline is, where it was going to be in the timeline. We still don't. Zelda Wii U didn't have an identity up until it was named Breath of the Wild. Then we slowly got into understanding of what this game is trying to go for. Breath of the Wild 2, the reason why I can make so many videos on it, despite only having one trailer that's 2 years old, is that the game has an identity. It's Breath of the Wild 2, the sequel to one of the greatest games ever. On Switch, returning to the world of Hyrule that we know and love, with Zelda and Link adopting new styles, and the fact that the true king is returning in the form of Ganondorf. Oh, that's going to be super spicy. So it didn't hurt as less, and that's why I can make so many videos on it, because we have the identity of the game intact, right? So here's the thing about Breath of the Wild 2, right? Breath of the Wild 2. If, it not showing up at the Game Awards, it not showing up at here, it's not showing up there. Last year, we couldn't see anything at E3 because there was no E3. If Breath of the Wild 2 does not show up at E3 this year, I'm going to be mad. I have a lot of patience when it comes to video games not being at events and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, maybe it needs this time and this time. Like, okay, no. Breath of the Wild 2, Zelda 35th anniversary. We've played enough hanky-panky, Nintendo. Breath of the Wild 2 needs to be at E3. This is not prediction speculation anymore. We were beyond that, all right? Breath of the Wild 2 needs to be there for y'all's sake, all right? But it's cool because a lot of insiders and leakers are all being near unanimous on the notion that, yeah, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be there. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. It's going to be there. Insiders and leakers are both they're all agreeing. E3, Breath of the Wild 2, don't worry. Especially with the shit that they pulled at the Direct, where it's like, hey, I know you saw me and was expecting Breath of the Wild 2 news. I'm sorry to say, boo. So here's the question that I want to ask you, leading off the Breath of the Wild 2 discussion when it comes to E3. Do you think we're going to get any type of release window revealed at E3 for Breath of the Wild 2 when it comes to full release date or just release year? Go.
Oh, okay. So I'm actually going to go even further out on a limb. I don't think we're actually going to get the announcement. And as much as, and trust, oh my God.
Wait, announcement of Breath of the Wild 2 or announcement of release? Or what are you talking about? We're not going to get an announcement of Breath of the Wild 2 or announcement of its release date?
Just announcement in general. And the reason why I say that.
Oh, you.
No, trust me. I love Breath of the Wild. No, I need everybody to hear me. I need everybody to hear me. I love Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is a game I no-lifed for sure, right? The thing is, though, as much as I would love for Breath of the Wild Breath of the Wild 2 to be at E3, the problem is we still got Skyward Sword pulling up the month after.
Does it look like I give a fuck? Like,
man,
bro, no. And I'm gonna tell you right now why your reason is cap. Because I've been through this whole spiel, notion, desert, all that shit about Zelda releases, Zelda timing, Zelda, news or whatever. And I'm telling you right now, this is this whole idea of having Breath of the Wild 2 having news here, and then with Skyward Sword coming out of release. that's Omega Cap, because Nintendo has done it time and time again, where they've announced other projects, released other projects, especially since Nintendo used to deal with the whole dual console aspect and stuff like that. You know, Oracle Ages, Oracle Ages. You know, we literally had, you know, Link's Awakening DX and Ocarina of Time both being promoted like at the same time and releasing it within, you know, a very small window of each other. And that was like one of the earliest ye old times of this happening. So don't bring like and you know, but honestly, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing it up, because correct me if I'm wrong, because it's really seeming that, you know, the Nintendo's approach right now with promoting Skyward Sword is very weird, in which it's almost as if like they're just making sure they're getting it out, because the way that they're promoting it on social media, just showing off all this other stuff, is like, oh, well, so if you guys didn't know, Skyward Sword was like the beginning of the Zelda lore and stuff. You can check this out, and just need 3 pictures, you know. And then Link is a knight with his childhood friend, 3 more pictures. Oh, Zelda is the daughter of the chairman of the 3 more pictures. Oh, like, you know, people live on Skyloft and have not explored the surface, 3 more pictures. You know, it's like they're like, okay, you guys want this game, so just here. So it's not like, you know, I feel that they're afraid of, you know, Breath of the Wild, you know, emasculating its fucking promotion, because it looks like they're doing it themselves. So
like they're literally okay. So I will retract my statement, right? Because you do make a fair point, right? And it's definitely true, right? Like, look, we all know Nintendo, right? If there is a game that they want to promote, you will never see the end of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Oh yeah.
Again, like if it's like Odyssey or even Xenoblade, like if there's like a big focus that they have, they will throw it in your face. They have not really done that with Skyward Sword. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, they can be like, okay, you know, we're just gonna like, you know, promote it a little bit, like on, you know, like Twitter or whatever, right? And, you know, so you guys have the information. It's not like we're not promoting it, right? And then during E3, okay, so yeah, Skyward, or actually not even, like they can be like, we got like this big announcement for you guys, right? And then, you know, we see like the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. Maybe we'll finally get to, you know the actual name of the game and whatnot. And then they're like, oh, and don't forget, next month, Skyward Sword drops, right? So it's kind of like we promoted it, but we want you guys to focus on this, right? And because of that, I actually don't think we're gonna get the release this year, like because I feel like it will be probably like heavy hitting next year. You know what I'm saying? Like if we do get the Switch Pro announced and, you know, it drops, or actually, dang, that's a tough one. Man, that's tough, because
right.
And it's like if it released if it releases alongside the Switch Pro, it's done. That's it. It's over. So dang that. Okay, if they announce the Switch Pro and the Switch Pro comes out like holiday this year, I think it'll come out this year.
Oh yeah.
Right. But if they announce the Switch Pro and it comes out sometime next year, we're not getting that game till next year, because they're gonna want to take advantage of the new hardware. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it really just depends on when the Switch Pro releases, because that's gonna be big,
bro. And I'm telling you right now, like from like everyone's eyes are focused on Breath of the Wild 2, right? So then there's these 2 pretty reputable leakers, insiders by names of Jeff Grubb and Zippo. And of course, Samus Hunter has been like, you know, leaking a lot of cool stuff about Breath of the Wild 2 and Age of Calamity DLC, which we got information about that like yesterday, today, whatever. Right. Jeff, here's the crazy thing. Now, both of these guys have a reputation to uphold when it comes to being insiders and leakers. Jeff Grubb states that we're looking at Breath of the Wild 2 releasing it this year. But Zippo is like, we're looking at Breath of the Wild 2 releasing next year. And I'm like, okay, so it's either going to be a holiday this year or spring of next year. And I'm like,
yeah,
you know, I don't hate those 2 dates, but I'm like, oh, what? Like, you know, like the clash of information. This is going to be weird. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think it also does depend on like what is coming out this year too. In a general retrospect, we know we're getting the Diamond and Pearl remakes this year,
Yep.
And I forgot that's holiday this year, right?
Yep.
And one trend I've seen Nintendo do with the Switch is if they have like a big IP, they don't try to overshadow it.
Right.
So if Pokemon is that game for this year, I really don't think. Well, okay, depending on the window. Like if it's October, November, right? Then I see Breath of the Wild 2 being the December big hitting game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if they release Pokemon in December, I really don't think we're gonna get Breath of the Wild 2 this year. But even at that, I wouldn't trip too much. Like if we got it in like
Pokemon's kind of Pokemon's kind of like Mario, right? So it's not like you know, you would have to have that kind of handle and care with something like Zelda, Donkey Kong, or anything of the sort. But when it comes to it, like Mario or Pokemon, I really think Nintendo does not give a shit, and they can like release it at any time against anything, and they know it's
because they know it's gonna sell.
Yeah, because it's the on-brand name. So I mean, like it's. I feel that Pokemon wouldn't be put in a disadvantage if Zelda came out before it, and people are still gonna buy Pokemon. I feel that Zelda might be at a disadvantage if Pokemon was released before Zelda, and then you have something like that, you know. So
I mean, look, it could definitely go either or. You know what I'm saying? It's like if they decide to release Zelda first and then end off with Pokemon. I mean, that's also a possibility. But as long as, you know, they're not trying to like overshadow, right? Because I mean, I don't want it to be like to a point where it's just like, crap, there's too much to play. I got to focus on this before I get to this. Like the best tactic would be like, you know, release that one RPG, have them play the crap out of it and be hungry for the next, you know? And then from there, like, you know, like for example, oh man, like I played, you know, Diamond, like from back and forth or whatever. There's nothing else to do. I wonder what the next RPG is going to be. Then bam, Breath of the Wild 2. And then you just literally just go off with that game, and hopefully it has a ton of content too. And then
from that point, bro, of course it is gonna, man. Like
yeah, with how much Breath of the Wild has, no, yeah, that game is gonna have a ton of content.
Man, omega content. But one thing that I will give you in terms of that type of argument is that it's making me kind of lean towards the 2021 release, because we still have to think about the completely psychotic plan that Nintendo and Pokemon have to release Pokemon Legends Arceus in spring. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I forgot about that.
To have that possibly release anytime near Breath of the Wild 2, now that's gonna be a problem. Also,
yeah, that's very dangerous.
I don't think from what I saw. Look, I am in love with the concept of Pokemon Arceus, Pokemon Legends Arceus. From what I saw, I'm like, bro, that game's not ready. That game's nowhere near ready. Like.
But it's the concept of the game, like literally, like okay, guys, just so you know, this is a complete tangent, but
go for it, man. This is the fifth dimension. The fuck?
Yeah, the fifth dimension. I can't believe I didn't do that until now. But the thing is, with Pokemon Legends Arceus, right? This is what people have been wanting Pokemon to be like on the Switch, like since Let's Go was announced. You know what I'm saying? Like. It's definitely not ready. I mean, did you guys see like that Chimecho? Like that thing was looking like it was running like 15 frames per second. That was bad.
Man, 15. Yo, you're generous with 15, man. It was 2 frames a second. I blinked and it was in a completely different spot, and I'm like, okay.
It was
we're gonna
rough. Although
we're gonna take HMK's brand of shoe polish and just throw it all over the game right now. Like the fuck, polish that bitch.
You know what's crazy though? Honestly speaking, if they were going for that, like in a like artistic kind of way.
No, cat bro.
No, wait, like if they wanted to go like that in an artistic
way,
they
bug feature shit. Like, oh, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Like, no, man. Like,
no, like especially with how gameplay was like. No, yeah, we definitely know it's not supposed to be that slow, but just the concept of that being the next step for Pokemon is gonna be amazing, bro. Because we all know the although this experience wasn't too good, but I understand what they were going with. The wild area was the skeleton for that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? And
easily.
Yeah, like we know the wild area wasn't perfect. You know, there were frame rate drops and all that stuff. But obviously, when you build or when you have the skeleton, you take all the good things that was, you know, solid from it and then build upon that. That's usually like how sequels and all stuff is made. So with them making Legends Arceus, and obviously after they optimize the game, that game's gonna be dangerous. And if anybody is really planning on releasing a game alongside that, I hope they're prepared for failure, because nothing's gonna compete with that game. There's no way.
Releasing Balan Wonderworld alongside of Monster Hunter Rise.
Okay, look, Square Enix, look, I love Square Enix. You guys already know how much of a fan I am. Balan Wonderworld was an absolute dumpster fire. I don't know what they were thinking about that game. Wow, their first platformer ever, and it was horrible. And that's being nice. Oh my goodness.
And then you have the unironic stands where like, it was a good game. And I'm like, I really want to know what you consider good. Like, after telling me something like that. But all in all, with that piece of idea when it comes to, you know, the wild areas in Sword and Shield being the skeleton for Legends Arceus, it makes a lot of sense because we've seen gaming do that before, which is unfortunate because, like, people who go retroactively go back to the previous game and like, oh man, this was the beta for that game. Like, a big example that we saw that was Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3, a lot of people were like, yo, Assassin's Creed 3, because they the number 3 and the fact that we went to ye old America during the 1700s and whatnot. The thing about that is that people were really excited for naval combat, and naval combat was good, but it was kind of rough in Assassin's Creed 3. And then came Assassin's Creed 4, which focused a lot on naval combat, and bro, that shit was amazing. So it looks like Nintendo's taking a similar strategy that's been done many times before in gaming and stuff, and I'm all for it. Like Ndukauba said, you take the best parts of something good and you make it better. Like that shit was a monster. But we are nearing the end of the stream. Because these streams specifically is going to be like the power hour type Nintendo prediction speculation stuff. So we've already passed the 15-minute mark. So we're going to go into the rapid fire round in which we're going to be talking about our wild boy speculations of something that we haven't talked about that we could possibly would like to see at E3, and of course answering your questions as well. So, all right, I'm going to start to get the mood started to know the type of energy we're going for in Ndukauba. Yo, so... F-Zero at E3, please God.
Yes, please. Yes.
Can you, like, you know, F-Zero recently came back into the conversation because one of the former producers of the game, the guy who unleashed the true blight on the Zelda world. You know, people are talking about Fire Blight Ganon, people are talking about Water Blight Ganon, no, the true blight was Tingle. Yeah. This man created Tingle. But that's besides the point. And another wild ball thing about Tingle. Oh boy, Ndukauba saved me, deliver me from Evo. But
I got you.
what do you think about F-Zero this year, possibly?
Bro, look, if we got F-Zero coming back, that'll be so dope. And you know what's crazy? When the Switch first launched, we had Fast RMX, and I don't know how people feel about that game, but I loved it. Right?
Oh, I love that game.
It was literally, it was our F-Zero. That's literally all we had. You know what I'm saying? So if they were to bring that back and I get to finally play as my boy Captain Falcon again, look, bro. Again, he's been in Smash for so many years, and this series has been dead for so long.
Racing, F-Zero, Captain Falcon, like taking down bounties on the side. God damn it!
Oh, I need that, bro.
Do you guys understand how much awesome space properties that Nintendo is sitting on and doing jack shit with? Talk to him.
Bring it back, please. Bring it back.
Now, fuck, I forgot the tangent. It was about like we were saying something about F-Zero, and then
we weren't going into any other tangent.
No. There was a tangent with F-Zero that we were bringing up.
I don't know, bro.
No, I lost it. All right, it's been lost to the void. All right, so what's some wild boy thing that you think? Oh, Tingle. Thank you. There we go.
Yeah, that's right. Tingle.
All right,
yes,
Tingle.
Yes.
So, Ndukauba. There's been rumors about, you know, a Zelda reveal at E3 to help celebrate the Zelda 35th anniversary, and that includes a Zelda character coming to Smash. Tingle is no longer an assist trophy.
Stop. Look, listen. No, all right. I need it to be Crash or Sora. All right. Look, my man is in the Great Bay stage. Leave him there, please. I just need it to be Crash, Dante, or Sora. If they want to give us Tingle for free, I'm with it. But if it's the last two characters, I have such tunnel vision for those specific characters that it's like anything else throws my brain into a frenzy. I am sorry.
That's fine. That's all I need to hear. Anyways, all right. So what's a Wild Boy prediction, expectation, speculation that you would like to see at E3? You know, it doesn't have to be based on none. It's just like, yo, E3 is getting wild. They have to go hit. You know what hit? This will hit. So what will hit?
You know what's crazy? This should have been happened. When are we getting the Cage collections on the Switch? When? Like, we already got freaking Melody of Memory on there. You know what I'm saying? It runs fine.
Man, yep.
Right. You give me, and I've already said, I think I even said this on Twitter too. You give me the collection on Switch, I will play through all those games all over again. Like, I need that. And we all know the Switch can handle it. Well, with an exception of maybe Kingdom Hearts 3, like they might have to make some revisions.
They'll have to tweak it. They would have to
games, yeah, but all the older games though, we all know that can run on the Switch perfectly fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know, it's funny because people have fucked around with the Switch and they've had they've had Kingdom Hearts, all the games run on Switch, and they've also had games in Unreal Engine because, you know, since the Switch has an NVIDIA chip, they were able to daisy chain backwards compatibilize whatever the fuck Stadia on the Switch, and they were able to get Cyberpunk running on the Switch. It ran.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, listen. Like, if y'all need to go through loops, these are the loops you gotta go through to get Kingdom Hearts Kingdom Hearts 3 running on the Switch. Like, when I saw Cyberpunk 2077 running on the Switch, technically it ran off Stadia, but it was still running off the Switch. Like, bro, look at this. It can be done, you know?
It's just, will they do it? Like, they need to hurry up. And like, I don't get it. Like, there's literally no reason not to. I don't get it.
So, I like, okay, so KH, Wild Boy stuff, Nintendo Switch, I would love it. All right, next to the next piece of the Wild Boy hour. I'm
gonna see if you're gonna mention it, but I'll wait.
No, go for it.
There were rumors about this year.
Okay.
And it is very plausible. Mario Kart 9.
Oh, that's a good one to talk about.
I need that. Like, okay, Mario Kart 8 is not only the best-selling Switch game of all time, it is the best-selling racing game of all time. I'm talking about Need for Speed, Forza, all that crap. Yeah. Nothing compares to Mario Kart 8 specifically. So it's doing well. It's had a good run. I get it, but it's time for something new. You know what I'm saying? Like the gravity mechanic, that was cool. Paragliding, which was in Mario Kart 7, I mean, that's still cool. But I need something new, man. We've had so many new characters come through. We've had so many different IPs pull up. And it's like, bruh, I get that they have Mario Kart on the phone. But, like, look, bruh, when is Pauline coming into, like, a console Mario Kart? Like, she's finally getting the spotlight she deserves. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for Mario Kart 9 to just be like, hey, it's in development. I would be so satisfied with that.
So, here's the thing about Mario Kart 9, right? I don't think it's gonna happen. And even if it will happen, it's not gonna be called 9, bro. It's gonna probably it's gonna be called 11. It's gonna be it's gonna be called 8. Yeah, it's gonna be called 11. No, it's gonna be called 11.
Oh yeah.
I count
the one on the
live
phone
tour.
and then the toy one.
Live tour, yeah. So it's gonna be 11, right? And I just don't see it happening because Mario Kart 8 is selling too fucking well. It's selling so stupid well. It's selling dummy well. And like I'll be hyped. But I don't see it. Trust me, guys. Before you guys try to put words in my mouth, I don't have anything against the notion or the idea of Mario Kart 9 happening. I'll be hyped. I just don't see it because like 8 Deluxe is still selling like stupid well. We got Tour and we got Live. You know. So I mean, like how much Mario Kart you want? Like, oh, you know that meme is like, oh, look at all this Mario Kart I can't hold. Like, oh, look at all this Mario Kart I can't fucking handle. You know. So I mean,
yeah. Like they're gonna keep on milking it as much as they can. Like I think of it in the sense of like how the PS2's lifespan was, right? Where the PS2 was like at the time, and I forgot if it is now, the best-selling console of all time, right? That console stopped development in 2012. 2012 is when they stopped development, and they didn't stop because the console was selling so good.
Yep.
You know, so it's like I see them doing the exact same thing with Mario Kart 8, where it's like, yeah, like it's still going strong. But once it dies down to a certain margin, okay, now we'll work on the sequel. So yeah, I want a new game so bad, but I'm perfectly prepared if we don't get it. But what if we get another Mario sports game?
Strikers,
like
strikers.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
I was about to bring that up. Mario Strikers technically got teased a little bit in Luigi's Mansion 3. And I'm like, listen, please. Like, next level games, don't fucking tease me like this shit. Yo, Strikers was amazing. I love Strikers on the GameCube, Strikers on the Wii. I will love a Strikers on the Switch. And we were like, oh, but what about golf? Because, Super Speed.
Yeah, Super Rush.
Yeah, Super Rush is coming out in a couple of months. And I'm like, all right, see, that's golf. Camelot can have golf and tennis. Y'all can have golf. And I love Mario Golf. I love playing Mario Golf. I'm kind of hyped for that game too. But soccer, though. The most violent Mario game in existence. Like, give it to me. I need that.
Bruh. I remember distinctively that I was playing Strikers Charged on the Wii and I was playing online. Oh my goodness. Like, that game was one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had.
That game is completely bonkers, man. I love it. God.
Oh. So, like, even before, like, they just call it, like, or even if it's not, like, a new Strikers, right? Like, maybe Mario Strikers Recharged. You know what I'm saying? So, it's like a port of that game.
Yo, I'd be fine with that. Updated port, man. Hell yeah, shit. Man, it's too good.
I need that.
And then, there are whispers about Super Mario Party 2.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Literally, just because they dropped the online update.
Right.
I don't know if that's gonna happen right now. I would love for it to happen, but well, then again, okay, the online update came way too late. I think we can all agree. But I've heard that the update's actually good. So, but the thing is, it's way too late. And again, like they finally brought Pauline back, and she's not even a playable character. And like, I don't know. But if they do make a new Mario Party, I'm for it, like 100%.
Dude, like this is like, I just need all those features back. I understand Hudson is no more, and I don't even know who's developing Super Mario Party. Is it in house? If it's in house, that's wild, bro. But
I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Super Mario Party developer.
Because I know Hudson used to develop those games, and then they got absorbed into Konami, and then we all saw how that story went down.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
ND Cube.
ND Cube? That's weird.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I guess to wrap off the whole idea of what's going down with Nintendo or E3 is in general, is that I feel that we need to get really big things, because a lot of people are expecting a lot of things, like all directions. They're expecting this, expecting that. Of course, expectations are good, especially when these expectations are gigantic things, like Breath of the Wild 2, like Metroid Prime 4, like Time. Yo, have you ever played Time Splitters?
I have not heard of it. Never got to play.
Oh my god, Time Splitters! If they like, I don't need y'all, like, listen. If Time Splitters 4 happens, that's amazing. I would take a Time Splitters like what do you call it, remaster combo of 1, 2, and Future Perfect, or just 2. Just 2. 2 was amazing. Time Splitters 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and bro, I would love Time Splitters to come back. Just bring it back. Apparently there's working versions of Time Splitters within another game that Deep Silver developed or published or something like that. I was reading something weird, but like, you need a certain source code in order to activate it. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? That's so weird, man.
Yo, I just realized too, because I'm checking out chat, and there's actually, I'm so glad that they brought this up, because I completely forgot. If we're allowed just a few more minutes in the 5th dimension, we didn't talk about the new Sonic game.
Sonic the Hedgehog, 30th anniversary.
Yeah. Like, we already know that, or at least from what the rumor said, right? Like, we do know they're working on a new game for sure.
And then didn't they outright say that we could expect an announcement of a new game this year? Like, Sega said that themselves not too long ago.
Yeah, so like, whether it's E3 or maybe like after, like, I don't know, like Gamescom or Game Awards, whatever, right? But if we're lucky enough to get a Sonic game announcement at E3, I really hope that they change the formula, because let's be honest, we've had boost to wins.
I'm so tired of the boost formula, man.
Yeah, that's what, since 2007, 8. Like it's
like
ever
since Colors, I think. No, wait.
No, it's Unleashed.
Unleashed came first. Unleashed came first. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like it was cool at first, but we got to get something new. And what really throws me off the most is the fact that they were going to remake the Adventure series and stopped because of how Sonic Boom performed, which is not fair.
It's not indicative. I don't understand. Listen. If we get new Sonic games, you guys already know, I will take Sonic Adventure 1 to... Like, bro, like, you would think Sega, of all people, seeing all these remasters sell extremely well. Like Mario, Crash, Spyro, all this shit, all of this resurgence of nostalgia. You would think they would be the first ones to jump on an HD remake of 1 and 2. But no, I'm like, why not? You know, I don't understand.
Like, they don't understand. Like, even like, look, again, I love Sonic Adventure 1. I love Sonic Adventure 2, right? I know some people feel differently about those games. That's fine. Look, even throwing the main portion of the game aside, the freaking multiplayer in Sonic Adventure 2, in my opinion, was fun. Bro, yeah, Chow Garden, and you have me sold. Like, all I would need is Chow Garden, and I will buy those games in a heartbeat. That's it. That's all I need.
Now, before people get, like, you know, really hyped up, you know, imagine if Sega, just to, like, as an extension to get people's trust back in, like, super hard in terms of Sonic or whatever, imagine they just go out of, like, Sonic Adventure 3. Like,
I would lose. We've gotten so many new characters since 2, bro. Yo, get my boy SBO in there. You know what I'm saying? Get my boy Silver in there. Yo, if they throw freaking in there somewhere, I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh my goodness.
Yo, you can keep Silver away from that game. Come
on now.
I understand, Ndukauba, I understand that you're Dragon Ball stan, all right? And I understand you like Trunks, all right? Trunks is fine in Dragon Ball. Trunks in Sonic, no. It didn't work. All right. It did not work. No.
If not Silver, at least bring back Mephiles somehow. Mephiles, and I want all you guys to flip this.
I'm about to fucking come here, I'm about to take your fucking Sonic badge. Mephiles?
No, bro, Mephiles is the greatest Sonic villain.
Yeah, just because he was actually able to kill Sonic.
That man had a goal and achieved it. That man was the GOAT. I need Mephiles to come back. Plus, he was voiced by Dan Green. That's Mewtwo. That's Yami Yugi.
I was about to say, you're saying Mewtwo. He's my Yugi, man. Like, he's your Mewtwo. He's my Yugi. Like, what the...
And he's my Knuckles, because Dan Green also voiced Knuckles in the same game. Bring back Mephiles, please. He's so cool. Please.
I'd like to thank Ndukauba for joining me on the 5th dimension. That this is where it ends. It's like, jeez. But it's been really fun, and I hope you guys really enjoy the stream. But I actually do have to bounce now. We were pushing it a little bit because I want to try and keep it around an hour, and I'm hungry as fuck. So,
baby.
Thank you all so much for coming on out. This has been another awesome episode of the 5th dimension. This will go up on YouTube tomorrow. And just so you know, this is the first of a 3-week session of the 5th dimension when it comes to E3 predictions and hype. The next 2 guests have already been locked in. So you're just going to have to find out next week who's going to be the guest of week 2 and who's going to be the guest of week 3. So I hope you guys had a lot of good fun, and I hope you guys will check out all members of the 5th dimension, especially my boy Ndukauba. Be sure to check out his channel, and Katie, could we get a shout out for him really quick? But before I toss y'all to the wind, this is a 5th dimensional stream. Let's see who we can raid really quick when it comes to the 5th dimension. And speaking of all the Zelda and Nintendo hype, let's go ahead and raid Clock Party, who is currently streaming Twilight Princess HD.
Hey.
Let's go, show them our love, and remember, guys, be brave. Start the raid! Remember, guys, as always, this has been HMK and Ndukauba. Be brave, dive in, and enter the 5th dimension. We will check you guys next time.
Later, y'all.